This is a story. This is a story called The Little Monsters, Chapter 112. The kids play pranks on everyone during a football match. The gang are at school, but all they keep talking about is the football match between their school and another school on the following weekend. The boys' match will be on the Saturday afternoon, and the girls' match will be on a Sunday afternoon. Leading up to them, they carefully and joyfully plan out the pranks they want to play on people. Then Grumpy says, "Hey guys, we haven't been to the joke shop for a while. I wonder if Mr. Joker has any new stocking. I'm going to find out after school. Who's coming with me?" "I am," said Kicker. "Me too," said Bumpy. "Count me in," said Creeper. "And me," said Stampy. "Me as well, but I say we go for lunch now, I'm starving," said Stumpy. Everyone looked at each other, then at Stumpy, and together they said, "You're always starving, Stumpy." They all laughed, and then they went for their lunch. That day after school they all went home and had their tea, got changed out of their uniforms, did their homework, and then met at Creeper's house, as hers was the nearest to the joke shop. When they got to the joke shop, Mr. Joker said to them, "Hey kids, it's good to see you all. You'll all be pleased to know that I've got some brand new stocking. It's just been delivered today whilst you guys were at school. Would you like to see it?" "Yes, please, Mr. Joker," answered the kids. The first thing he showed them was a fire-breathing, singing, talking, and walking dragon. When you stood in front of it and pulled its ears, it would get annoyed and breathe fire on you. If you sang, it would sing with you. If you spoke to it, it would talk back to you. If you walked in front of it, it would follow you, but if you went behind it, it would swing its tail and knock you over. Then he showed them some toy crocodiles, and when you touched them, they opened their jaws wide and bit you, and when you walked in front of them, they'd chase after you. Then he showed them some toy parrots, and if you sang, they would sing too. Whatever you said, they'd copy you, but if you touched their big beaks, they'd bite you. Then he showed them some toy suns, and when you touched them, they'd turn into thunderclouds and rain, thunder and lightning, and then they'd become the sun again. The last thing that Mr. Joker showed them was these toy skeletons. When you looked at them, they didn't do a thing, but when you turned your back on them and walked away, they'd follow you with their limbs moving and teeth chattering. If you spoke, they'd laugh at you. The kids thought everything was hilarious, and they bought everything that Mr. Joker had showed them. Then Bumpy spotted some toy dinosaurs and rabbits, and she asked Mr. Joker, "Mr. Joker, what do these dinosaurs and rabbits do?" "Oh, I forgot about them. The dinosaurs roar at you and chase you when you walk in front of them. The rabbits are really friendly until you stroke their back ends. Then they'll bite you and wee and poo on you," answered Mr. Joker. The kids bought these too. Over the next few days leading up to their football matches, they practised using their new joke stuff. On the day of the boys' match, the kids took their new joke stuff with them. When the boys were in the changing room getting ready for the match, they took out their toy skeletons and got the other boys to turn their backs on them. When they did, they followed them with their limbs moving and teeth chattering. much to everyone's amusement. Even the coach thought they were hilarious. After that, it was time to go onto the football pitch. The first person to score a goal was Stampy, and he went on to score 2 more goals. Stumpy scored 3 goals and Grumpy scored 2. Their team scored 12 goals altogether, and the other team scored 6. This meant that the Little Monsters team had won. During the match, the girls were in the audience egging the boys on, and of course playing pranks on people, much to everyone's amusement. The next day was the girls' match, and Kicker and Joanne Strawberry both scored 6 goals each. By the end of the match, the Little Monsters girls team had scored 19 goals, making them the winners. Then Kicker went up to the coach and said, "I have an idea. Why don't we have a girls versus boys match just for fun?" "That's a splendid idea, Kicker. Come on, let's go and tell Coach Grape and see what he thinks about it," said Coach Pear. They went over to Coach Grape, and Coach Pear said to him, "Kicker here thinks it would be a good idea to have a girls versus boys match just for fun, and we were wondering what you thought." "I think it's a great idea. How about the 2 losing teams go head to head and the 2 winning teams go head to head," said Coach Grape. "That's a great idea. How about next Saturday afternoon?" said Coach Pear. They told the other coaches, and they all told their teams. Leading up to it, the Little Monsters got all of their prank stuff ready. On the day, whilst they were in the changing rooms, the kids played as many pranks as they could on the coaches and the other kids. However, what they didn't realise is that the Leeds football coach was in the audience, waiting to choose 10 new players for his junior girls and boys teams. When they were all on the pitch, he wrote down the numbers of certain players. He chose Kicker, who was number 10, Bumpy, who was number 5, Stampy, who was number 3, Grumpy, who was number 11, and some kids from the other teams. When their coaches told them, they were really excited. However, Stampy said, "How come Stumpy and Creeper haven't been chosen? We're a gang and we come as a team. If they can't play, then I don't want to play. I don't know about Grumpy, Bumpy and Kicker, but that's how I feel. I don't want to play without Stumpy and Creeper either," said Grumpy. "Are you saying that because it's how you really feel, or because your friend Stampy said it?" asked Coach Grape. "Both, I guess," answered Grumpy. Everyone laughed, and then Coach Grape went to talk to the Leeds football coach. He explained to him that the Little Monsters were a gang, and if they all couldn't play, then none of them did. He agreed to let them all play. However, no one warned him that the gang were pranksters. He soon found out when they were in the changing rooms on the day of their first training session. That first day, they all played exceptionally well. A few weeks later, it was time for their first match. They played exceptionally well, but the other team won. As the scores were 6 goals to the Leeds team and 10 goals to the Bradford team. They didn't care because they knew that they'd played really well. At their next training sessions, they worked twice as hard. As a result of this, they won their next match as they scored 12, and the Wakefield team only scored 5. They played well in all their games and went through to the final, giving them a chance to win the Great Yorkshire Cup. In the final, they played against the Shipley team and won with a score of 12-4 to them. They put the cup in a cabinet and each of them were given a medal and a trophy with their names on at their next training session. They went on to play several more matches after that, and of course they didn't win every match, but they still played exceptionally well. End of chapter 112. Hope you like it, guys. Thanks for watching.